because everything else we all know what happened. He went around the truck. We see him go in front of the truck, and then there was a scuffle. But something to notice here: when Michael got out the truck, Ahmaud was going towards the passenger side. He was already running on the other side of the truck. He saw him getting out. He was headed towards him. But when he came out and he saw the shotgun, he made the dash and go around. This is not to incriminate Ahmaud. I'm just saying this is what happened. Once again, this could have been one of them fight or flight things. Like if you somebody chasing you, somebody they want to talk and they chasing you and everything else, and if all it was that he was just a person suspected of a crime, that he really didn't do anything, then yeah, I can understand him wanting to, hey man, you trying to stop, you trying to hurt me. Okay, let me go ahead and take care of you because hey, I'm by myself out here. I get that. I can understand that. All right. But that is what took place. Oh man. So I hope that video works out, man. That it shows up because that's unfortunate. That flash to me is deceitful because it's not showing the whole thing. And I thought that's my first time looking on that site, seeing that one. So I apologize. I wasn't aware they're gonna have that flash in the middle. And that's the thing. Like that's what I look at when we look at footage and when we look at anything. We want to be able to observe everything. Everything that it shows. We're gonna make a conclusion. You know what I'm saying? But so I don't want to make it like I'm lying here. You know what I'm saying? So what happened in that video? If you watch it yourself, you watch the whole thing, not the cuts, the edits that they post on different news sites. But if you watch the whole thing, you know what I'm saying, from the start to the finish, you will notice if you slow it down, you'll notice that Ahmaud is on one side of the road. He's headed towards on the right side of the truck, but yet he turns. You see him turn towards the passenger side of the truck to run towards, not the passenger, but towards the driver's side of the truck as Michael is getting out of the truck as if he was really finna deck him. And he probably was finna steal on him. He probably could have. I'm not saying he was going to. Don't know yet. He didn't make it to that point. But he did make a turn going towards the driver's side of the truck. Then as Michael gets out the truck, he braces, takes a stand with his gun. He quick dash makes that turn, make that quick dash going around the right side of the vehicle. And then we know everything else that ensued after that. But that's an important part to think about because at this point, Ahmaud could have been running away. He could have left, could have kept running. If he would have eluded him twice, he could have kept going. The stopping to fight at this point could have been a different story. So then it says, what happened to this young man is simply just very sad. And it is. It is sad. And look, guys, and this is not. Hope anybody doesn't take the fact that we're reviewing this information to make it seem like there's anything less to look at concerning the fact that a young man is dead. An image bearer of God has lost their life. That's not saying that at all. That's not taking it that way at all. All right. The thing is, we're looking at what's justifiable and what isn't, what is right and what is wrong. All right. That doesn't take away the fact that it's sad that he lost his life, and I hope that nobody takes that stance here. That's not the case. All three of these individuals are image bearers of God. All three, not just Ahmaud, but the Michaels too. Their lives will be forever changed because of this incident. Whether they had good intentions or didn't, their lives will be forever changed because of this. And Ahmaud is now before the Lord. And I pray that he knew the Lord, but we don't know. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the biggest thing. So it definitely is sad. And anytime anybody loses their life, it is sad. It is sad. Especially if they die and leave this world without knowing Christ. All right. So yes, I agree with you, Arlena. It's definitely sad. And it is simply very sad. It is. But unfortunately, what we have being given to us in the media is that this is a race issue, that these are white men who is lynching someone else. And we know what the Bible tells us. It is a sin to do what? Bear false witness. It is a sin. All right. To bear false witness. And this is why we're doing this, because there's witness that is being bared that is false. So we got to deal with it. We got to look at it. And we got to see, even if it is false, it could be true, but we won't know until we look at what's going on. All right. And look at everything that's happening. Anyway, TMZ has failed me. This other website has failed me. And that's fine. I'll just encourage you guys, because I'm already started a long time on this. I would encourage you guys to watch that video just very closely at that point. Very, very closely at that point. To see exactly what is going on. It's unfortunate I can't put up the video as I would have liked to. So I do apologize for that. I don't want to spend any much longer trying to do that and wear you guys' patience out with this. It's late, and I know a lot of you guys got things to do. So I do apologize again for that. But maybe just one of them things, just wanted to show that again. But I would just encourage you to look at that video very closely, what's going on. Now, so this other surveillance footage Let's pull this up because this is going to be important to give the case as far as if they had even the right to make a citizen's arrest. We're still on the first question: do they even have a right to make a citizen's arrest? So I'm pretty sure by now, you guys, if you look at this stuff, look up these videos, footage, you will see it. The surveillance footage that I was going to pull up, and I wish I could have just put it up for you guys, is you see the footage. It's a footage from a house across the street where you can see the home where Ahmaud was went to the construction site where they're doing construction work in. Now, the way the media put this out was that he was jogging, just minding his own business, just jogging. But this surveillance footage shows that that wasn't the case. That it wasn't the case that he was just minding his business. Now, he could have been jogging before he entered this frame of this shot. He could have been jogging, just happened to come to this particular place, and then decided to walk in. All right, could have been, but we don't see somebody who is just jogging. All right, he walks in the frame. He wasn't jogging. He walks in the frame. You see him look at this home, and it looks like he's been there before. And other footage has surfaced, which I was going to pull that up too, but I just ain't got no trust in the technology that I have right now to actually be able to pull that stuff up. So there's other footage that actually shows him being in that home other times other than this day. So there were previous times where he was in the same house where he should not have been. There's footage of him. It's there. It's clear. All right. So now on this particular day, on February 23rd, he goes into his home. He goes into his, he stops in front of this house. He looks around. It looks like he's kind of, you can make an argument that he's kind of enjoying the scenery, but I would suspect because he's going to do something he shouldn't be doing, that he's looking around to see who's around, who's watching him, who's a witness. And he sees the coast is clear, and he tries to go in. He goes in through one way, notices the door is locked, then he goes in through the garage. So he knows what he was doing. He's been here before. He knows what to do. And some people made the argument, well, hey, this was it was no locks on the door. Yeah, the front door was locked. That's why he didn't get in through the front door. He got in through the garage door. So apparently that wasn't locked. I don't know if it was supposed to be locked and they forgot to lock it. Those things could be argued. Or did it have a door? Didn't have a door right there being built. But the front door was locked. So he didn't get in through the front. He got in through the back. So I could take this off because obviously I ain't from listening on audio right now because I just lost faith in the whole video pulling up on this thing. And let me. I know you're still seeing this screen. Let me pull up to this point. All right. Oh, that's big. I don't want to. That's too big. Hold on. All right. So yeah. So he pulls up on the scene, and then I'm doing all this talking and stuff like this, and I'm moving my hands around. You guys can't even see me. But anyway, I hope the me speaking gave you enough of what's going on, description of what's going on. But he's in front of this house, and he stops and he looks around. And you could think that he's probably looking around to enjoy the scenery, but he isn't. He's trying to make sure. You say, "Well, Jamal, you don't know his heart." Come on, guys, just common sense. Saying like he's looking around to make sure nobody's watching. We know he was looking around to make sure nobody's watching because of what happens afterwards. All right, so he's looking around, make sure nobody's watching. He tries to go through the front. The front door is locked. He goes around through the garage and he goes in this building. Now, there's other footage, like I mentioned earlier. There's other footage that shows him in this place prior to this day. Okay. So obviously he's used to being here. He knows where to go and everything else. He already knew that. So this ain't his first time being in this place. All right. He goes there. All right. He's in there not even long. He probably was in there a couple minutes. He wasn't in there that long, to be fair. If you look at the surveillance footage, a time step on it, he wasn't there that long. But while he's in there, someone else from down the street you can see them come in the frame and like they're looking to see what's going on at the house, and they make a call. They're making a phone call, which we suspect this is a 911 call. All right. Now, as they're making the phone call, they're standing out in the front lawn. They're making the call. What we then see, guys, what we see is that Ahmaud exits through the front door. He doesn't come back through the garage. He exits through the front door. Either now there's no sound on this video. So either he notices the person calling the cops and seeing him exit the house, or that person calls out to him, tells him, "Hey," or calls out to him something. But then what we see in the video is that Ahmaud like hits that. I like how one guy said he hit that Usain Bolt. Like he trucked it. You could tell this guy was truly an athlete because the way he took off in that video and how long it took him to get down the road. You could tell he could run track. Like dude was really he was fast, real fast. That camera couldn't catch up with him, couldn't keep up with him. So anyway, he took off down the road. All right. Now time passes on. You don't see people immediately chase him. You see the guy who made the call, which is just why I suspect he was McMichael, because you see he's making a call and he goes back in, see like he goes in to tell somebody what's going on, and then leaves, and then you see like a bunch of people kind of go down the road or whatever. But at this point, you don't see anybody like enter a vehicle and start chasing. So I'm questionable on that, and I will admit that, and let that be where it is. All right. So someone made the 911 call, but he takes off. So now we get to the point in the report where we see he's being followed. They're trying to stop him. He eludes them, and then we get to the point where he makes his final spot. Now, so this wasn't the case of somebody just jogging. We have to be clear and be honest with the information that this wasn't just somebody making their just minding their business, doing their own thing, and they happen to get chased by white men looking to lynch a black person. This wasn't the case. Right or wrong, however you may see it, these were people who now he's not just somebody who's suspected of committing a crime. Let's be clear about this. This is not now somebody who's suspected of committed a crime. This is someone who's been caught. He's been caught committing the crime. Now, the reason why I got this pulled up, the Georgia Code Title 16, is because there are people making the claim that he really didn't commit a crime. He didn't do anything. Now, remember that we looked at Georgia Code for making a citizen's arrest, that it can be because of a misdemeanor or a felony. All right, a misdemeanor or a felony. Okay. So then it says someone can steal grandma's ashes, and I would at most follow them in a car far away, not going to get far on foot, definitely going to avoid escalating things to a struggle over a gun. I feel you. And honestly, to be clear, Michael is not the one who escalated to a struggle over the gun. So let's be fair about this. And we're going to get to this a little bit. We're going to get to this a little bit later too, but I appreciate the input. I appreciate the comments. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me through all these technical difficulties and everything. I really do appreciate you guys so very much. You don't even realize it. All right. So now I agree with you. Now, some of us would handle this differently, but this is the point. We're not this whole thing, and we can't be arguing whether or not how we would have handled it or compared to how they handled it. The issue is, were they in their rights to do so? All right. Because me personally, I can speak for myself. I wouldn't, if I noticed somebody on footage that have been the one who have committed a crime or been trespassing, I wouldn't be following them either. I wouldn't have followed them. I would have called the police, made a note of who they are, and hope the police catch them. That's what I would have done. That's probably what you would have done. But that's not what they did. Does that make what they did right? Does it make what they did wrong? That's the thing. Does it make it right or wrong? Because that's not what we would have done. All right. And this is why when it comes to stuff like this, we have to remove ourselves from this and look at it just, okay, what the facts are, what information is, what the law is, and were they in the rights or not? Because we have constitutional rights. We have constitutional rights, guys, and we got to look at that. And he says, also, the social justice warriors should be ashamed of turning this into a race-focused issue. Yes, but it's not just them by themselves. It's the media. The media does it because they know what gets the views and what gets the clicks. It's not just them by themselves. I believe that the media is using the social justice people for this fact. You know what I'm saying? They're using them at this point, making them into puppets. This is what they're doing. You want to get an uproar out of the social justice warriors? Do this. Let this happen. Put this out there as this. Put it out there as a public lynching. Put it out there as a modern day lynching of a black man by white men. Saying, oh, yes. Oh, yes, most definitely. What I'm saying? So that's them. That's the media, man. And they're using them. They use them to their advantage. And that's unfortunate. All right. So that's the thing. All right. So did they have a right? Saying, so what happened here? Ahmaud was on this property, clearly on this property. Now he's being caught in the act. This is no longer a suspicion, guys. And I want to make this very clear. This is no longer a suspicion. I'll probably end up cutting this video in parts, making part 1, part 2, and stuff like that. But anyway, this is no longer a suspicion. All right. There is now an eyewitness to what he's done, and there is now immediate knowledge to anyone who's being told of what's going on at that moment while he's running down the road. So the neighbor who calls in the police call is an eyewitness to him trespassing. That's what he did. Trespassing. Some people say, well, that's not a real crime. That's not anything. It is a misdemeanor according to Georgia law. And so this, according to code, let's look at this. A person commits the offense of criminal trespass when he or she, these are different options. So I'm going to read through all these options. A person commits the offense of criminal trespass when he or she intentionally damages any property of another without consent of that other person, and the damage thereto is $500 or less, or knowingly and maliciously interferes with the possession or use of the property of another person without consent of that person. All right. The B, a person commits the offense of criminal trespass when he or she knowingly and without authority, one, enters, check this, enters upon the land or premises of another person or into any part of any vehicle, railroad, car, aircraft, or watercraft of another person for an unlawful purpose. All right. Now, everything else here is a person who enters upon the land of a premise without notice from the, or with notice from the owner not to be there, and or was there and was given a warning of not to be there, and they didn't obey. All right. So that's reading through the rest of that. I mean, that's basically the gist of the rest of that stuff. Matter of fact, I said I'll read all of it. I'll read them all. Let's read it. We got time. I already went over an hour. Enters upon the land or premises of another person or into any part of any vehicle, railroad, craft, such and such, after receiving prior to such entry notice from the owner, rightful occupant, or upon proper identification, an authorized representative of the owner or rightful occupant that such entry is forbidden. So if they were warned, if you were already told not to come here and you bring your behind back here, then yes, you are trespassing criminally. All right. Number 3, remains upon the land or premises of another person within the vehicle, such watercraft, after receiving notice from the owner, rightful occupant, such and such, and authorized representative of the owner, blah, 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 blah. So basically, they done told you to leave and you still stay. You don't leave. So if you leave and they told you not to come back and you come back, that's trespassing. If they tell you to leave and you stay there, that's trespassing. All right, you're now trespassing. Then it says, for the purposes of subsection B of this code section, permission to enter or invitation to enter given by a minor who is or is present on or in the property of the minor's parents or guardians is not sufficient to allow lawful entry. That's basically saying that your children cannot give somebody permission to come on your land. Your children cannot be the one to say. That could be common sense, right? All right. Now, this is the point. D, a person who commits the offense of criminal trespass shall be guilty of a misdemeanor.